Cancer, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late September, moving into early October 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cancer Collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. Guide, Spirit Team, talk to me. What do we got for the lovely Cancer Collective here in late September, early October? What energies, messages, insights can we take a peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Cancer. Late September, early October. We are in Libra season. Let's see what the vibe is for my good friends. There we go. Nice and quick. Okay, cool. I like this card. I haven't seen it in quite a while. See, we got the monkey with the skull in front of a typewriter. Now, even though the imagery itself is pretty entertaining, to me, it's actually extremely intelligent, mental type of energy. So I actually love this card. It's usually a very good thing whenever it shows up. Now, before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this monkey kind of dressed up like Shakespeare, right? He's looking at the skull, contemplating life. There's all sorts of like equations behind him, and he's like writing up a storm. So of course, to me, this is like mental sharpness, very similar to the Ace of Swords. So for a lot of Cancers in this time, like looking at things in a very logical, pragmatic way could be a strength for you. Now, I know as someone that has water sign placements myself, a lot of us like to go off of intuition and feeling and stuff like that. This is the opposite. This is an energy where it's like, no, I'm going to do what's logical. I'm going to do the proper procedure. It is very, very smart. So for a lot of you, maybe you're learning new things. Maybe you need to feed your brain with new information when this card is here. And listen, if anyone's cross-watching, now is not the time to try to get one over on a Cancer, right? Because when I see this energy, it's like I see through everything. So again, you might have a really easy time, Cancer, at like seeing through any facades. So we're just going to leave it at that. Let's get into tarot. Yeah, lots of good logical type of energy. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Cancer. See what we got. Late September, early October. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was a little wound tight, if I'm going to be honest with you. The reading was titled They Are Mad. Now, whether it was you, whether it was somebody else, to me, it seemed pretty grumpy. Okay, so listen, no judgment here. I know we're all human. We go through various emotions from time to time, but it did feel angry, right? It felt a little aggressive. So just watch out for that over the next couple of weeks. It's an energy that can continue. But we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Cancer. What do we got? Late September, early October, please. Let's get these cards out nice and quick. Thank you. Okay, strength, cool. I like it. I don't dislike strength in the first position. Now, normally I'm a enjoyer of action cards, but I'll take strength. It's fire. Let's get a couple more. Strength could be really all right. Knight of Cups. That's one of your power cards. So I'm already feeling an empowered type of energy for you, Cancer. Finding your strength potentially, literally, figuratively. Okay, 2 of Pentacles, maybe finding a balance. So I am very optimistic about what we're seeing so far, my good friends. It's a bit of a turning point from where we saw the energy last week, which I would say is a good thing. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always like to look at the elements first. We have a nice mixture of stuff going on here. Whenever we get too much of one element, that's where I get a little concerned, because then it could be a little too intense. But we have fire, water, and earth. Now with the fire, that's the realm of actions, movement, passion, desire, the actions that we take and the actions that others take. It can be a little unpredictable sometimes, so it can be a little hot and cold, a little extreme. Then we have the water in the center, which can also flow quite a bit, which I'm sure you're aware of as a water sign. But with the water, the emotions, the feelings, it's very sentimental. It can represent partnerships and things that we care about. Super creative. But similar to this fire, water is always in a state of movement, right? It never stays still for long. Then on the back end, we have the Two of Pentacles. Nice, especially with the Earth, money, finances, investments, the material aspects of life, family, home, very practical type of energy. So we do have a good mixture of stuff. So whether it's different things showing up on the radar, or maybe things are going to start coming into a nice balance, let's go through this piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, we start with strength, very spiritual type of energy. Now you see the angelic lady there. It's like she's uh, I don't want to say fending off that lion, but it's kind of like she's taming it, so to speak. And to me, I say this is always a very angelic card. Now, for some of you, if you have Leo placements or you're connected to a Leo, this could be an indicator of that. She does have the infinity symbol over her head, which does point to the spiritual tie and karmic, right? So, again, whether you're going through some karmic shifts or changes or lessons, we'll just have to see. Strength to me represents somebody's internal state. So, their personality, who they are as an individual, who they are on the inside. It's loving, it's caring, it's nurturing, as opposed to forcing. So when I see strength, it's like, okay, I'm getting into a state of flow. I'm getting into the flow state, which is usually pretty good. And the love is really nice, great for spiritual protection. Now, the downside of strength is sometimes it can represent a test of strength or a test of some kind, where it's like, okay, I'm trying to hold back from something. That's a big thing with this card. I'm trying to refrain myself. I'm trying to hold back. And the universe wants to see where your progress is at when this card shows up. So we'll take a look at it further. Again, I'm not saying that's definitely the case, but strength can sometimes be a little test from spirit. There is a lot of karmic energy at play, especially with this card and the Two of Pentacles on the back, but we'll get to that in a moment. Now, in the center, we have the Knight of Cups, my favorite of all the Knights, and it's one of your power cards. Remember, it's not gender specific. Big water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Knights represent movement and action, and they're also communicators. So this could be a conversation, a talk of some kind. And the thing I like about the Knight of Cups is that it moves at the right speed. It's not too fast, it's not too slow, it's just right. It's that perfect porridge, my good friends. So I like the speed at which it moves. So if this is action, it's the right action. If it is moves that you're making the right moves with the Knight of Cups. Now, as far as personality traits, this is a smooth talker, Prince Charming type of energy, super creative. There's a lot of emotion in this card, caring for someone or something very deeply. So you might be a little more sentimental than you normally are. The downside with the Knight of Cups could be a little overly emotional. So when we have strength with the Knight of Cups, there's just a lot of internal intensity with these cards. Now, on to the back end, we have the Two of Pentacles. Love it. And we see this individual with the funny hat. Seems like they're balancing or juggling those two pentacles. Notice this also has an infinity symbol. So in two places, we have the infinity symbol, which does represent some sort of karmic tie that we do want to look at further. Now, all twos in tarot represent partnerships, choices, decisions, being at a crossroads. This one in particular represents making the right move. So it's not only one place we see somebody doing the right thing, it's multiple places in this reading. So we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. Now, this is a card of harmony, it's a card of balance, but there is a downside as well. Sometimes, of course, it can represent imbalance where something's too extreme. It's super hot, super cold. So watch out for those fluctuating energies because things could get a little intense from time to time. But I always say he's juggling as well. So when we see this card, he has a lot on his plate. He's trying to juggle. So for some cancers, watch out for being overwhelmed by things. Whether it is those feelings, whether it is situations. When I see the Two of Pentacles, it's like this person has a lot they're dealing with. They have a lot on their plate. They're very busy. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Cancer. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What is happening with Cancer, please? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot because, as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on strength. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give Cancer, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, strength time. Why is it here, please? Thank you. Hey, we got our good friend, the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself, without a beard in the upright, joining the party. I love this, actually. Listen, Cancer, I think for a lot of you, you're going to hit some sort of really good stride. Now, this can also be that indicator for a lot of you about that karmic energy we've already been seeing. And I'll make that final determination as we move along because we have 2 of your power cards and 2 karmic cards. So for a lot of you, you could be in a very deep time of metamorphosis and change. I think it's super important in this time that you be kind to yourself with whatever it is you're going through. I know not every Cancer is going through the same thing. So whether it is love and relationships, whether it is work and business, whether it is personal development and growth, I'm seeing a very powerful karmic change where the universe is applying pressure so you could turn into your next form or final form, if that makes sense. King of Cups is the full expression of the suit, and he also keeps things under control. So funny how last week we had that grumpy, angry, loose cannon type of energy, whereas this week it's like, no, I got this. I got this under control. I'm good. I'm balanced. So again, there could be various things or situations where you're starting to gain control over it and rein it in. But I am getting really strong indicators of a lot of you experiencing karmic change. Now, that could be something that has big implications on your life's journey as a whole. Okay, when we speak about karmic things, we don't just think about like, oh, getting what you put out, you receive in return. To me, it's more about aligning with our life's purpose and journey. So there is a change happening. Let's keep moving. I like it. And again, there could be various things and situations that you're finally starting to get a grasp of it or get control of. But let's see what's up with the Knight of Cups. We'll see what's up with him. Really want to get to the 2 of Pentacles, though. That's going to be really telling when we get over there. But why is the Knight of Cups in the mix? Okay. Okay. Little speed bump. A little speed bump. All right. So we have the Ace of Cups in reverse underneath this Knight of Cups, where it's like, all right, I want to say something. Should I? Shouldn't I? This could be a conversation or a talk where somebody holds back a little bit, either holds back a little information, or it's like they're stepping on eggshells. So watch out for communications like that. Whether it's you or another person, it's like I'm testing the waters here. Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups in reverse is, yeah, it's definitely withholding. I'm not going to say that this is somebody that's ignoring another person, but to me, it's more so like I want to say something. Should I? Should I? Shouldn't I? It's like somebody that's in their head, like, should I approach this? Should I leave it be? Should I talk about this? Should we talk about it another time? Now, you would know best in your situation if there is something that needs to be addressed. But when I see this, it could be a serious talk that needs to be had. Okay. That could definitely happen as well. Even though I see this energy that seems to be holding back a little bit. Okay, so again, you can't force somebody to talk. You can't force somebody to say something just because you want to hear it. But yeah, when I see the Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups in reverse, it's like, no, there's something that needs to get addressed. Like, even though we have this karmic shifting energy, it's like, no, there's still things that need to get sorted here. There's still things we need to discuss and talk about. But maybe now might not be the time. Let's keep moving. So we do have that serious talk that could be coming in. But let's go in on the 2 of Pentacles. We'll see what that has. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is it here? Yeah, and it doesn't seem to be, yeah, it's either serious or important. And it doesn't seem mean, but it seems to be just like about its business, like laying it out. Let's go in on the 2 of Pentacles. Why's the 2 of Pentacles here? Okay, recovery. Cool. So we do have the Tower in reverse. Even in reverse, this could be a bit of a shocking energy. Um, this to me actually feels really good, and it is another karmic card. So again, half water, half karmic. A lot of things are in a state of flux right now, which is okay. Life is about perpetual change. It just feels a little more intense right now for the Cancer Collective than it normally would. So the Tower could be Scorpio vibes here, but especially when I see it in reverse underneath the 2 of Pentacles, this actually feels like a good tower to me, where it's like, oh, it's one of 2 things. Either one, there is a tower moment that you are actually starting to or healing from in a very big, meaningful way. Or for another portion of you, this could be a shocking win or victory, where it's like, wow, that went way better than I thought. I thought that this was going to be terrible. I thought that this was going to go off the rails, but it didn't. I got this. So to me, something could go shockingly good for you. So again, whether it is personal relationships or money or self-development and growth, to me, it's like I overthought this. I thought it was going to be worse. I thought it was going to be the worst case scenario, but in reality, I won. That's just how it feels to me. So I love your reading this week, Cancer. I really do. And I guess it's all about perspective and what you're going through. But I wasn't expecting to see this type of energy, especially coming off the heels of this. So there's a lot of distinct energies here, and it could be in different areas of life. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. So again, just to recap, 3 karmic cards, 3 water cards, a lot of energy shifting and moving, which is good. I think in this case, it's a good thing. But position number 1, we have strength with the King of Cups in the upright. Gotta love that type of vibe here, where it's like, yeah, no, cool, I'm getting a handle of something. It's really, really nice, and it could just be indicating that crescendo of energy where it's like this karmic shift is almost complete. Moving to the center, we have the Knight of Cups with the Ace of Cups in reverse. So I was getting that should I, shouldn't I say something type of energy where it's like, oh, there's something I really want to say, but maybe I shouldn't, but maybe I should, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's just about the timing. And if you feel that way, maybe the time isn't right, and that's okay. But I do feel like there is something that still needs to be addressed or spoken about, whether it's an important talk or a serious one. It's like, no, we got to discuss this at some point, even if we kick the can down the road. Moving to the back end, we have the 2 of Pentacles with the Tower in reverse. So to me, that felt like a shocking win, something going way better than expected. And for a portion of you that have recently experienced the Tower moment or are still healing from one, right now, you might turn a corner here where you start really feeling good and empowered. That's something I felt very early on. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. What do we got for Cancer? Thank you. Cool. Page of Cups. So, hey, in the reading, we got the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the page does link into communication. So funny that we're speaking about something that might need to be discussed. Should I, shouldn't I? And the fact that this is in the shadows, we could either take it as an advice, similar to what we saw within the reading itself, where it's like, all right, something does need to get covered, but maybe another time would be best. I'm not saying delay it for a year or two, but it's like maybe it needs a little more time before you discuss that. But a big thing with this page, there could be someone, if not you, that is a little shy, a little bashful, or suppressing. That's the shadow side of the Page of Cups, where it's just really shy and it's like, oh, I really want to talk. I really want to say something, but I don't even know how to open that gate, so to speak. So again, wanting to have a conversation, but not knowing how to start it, or feeling something and not knowing how to verbalize it. So don't feel too pressured if you got to delay a conversation, delay it. But we're just going to leave it at that, Cancer. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The September subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The September calendar is already live, so we could have ourselves a little chat. But for the September subscriber surprise, giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks ever, the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's great for beginners and experienced readers. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the zodiac signs, which ones do you get along best with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As usual, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.